gbogbo tí a béèrè lolúwa yóò ṣe. ọdún yìí àṣúra kò ní lè kọ́kọ́ mọ́ wa.
West Radio 89.3 FM kànga agbọ́nmágbẹ tó kún fún omi ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àti òye.
Tired of listening to the same old content? Tune in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, the only radio other radio stations listen to.
Hello, everybody. My name is Akin Lewis, and you know me. You're listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and it is called your preferred wholesome radio. So keep it locked. Stay tuned. This is the radio you've been waiting for.
West Radio 89.3 FM kànga àgbọ́nmágbẹ.
Top of the morning to you. Thank you for joining us this great Friday morning. Today is the 12th day in the month of September 2025. Welcome to Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. Great morning to you. Thank you for joining me this Friday as we take you through the dailies today. This is a weekend edition, and this is 89.3 FM broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole, Estate Ibadan, here, the capital of your state. My name is Ayo Emmanuel Ojo. Thank God it is Friday, and I hope you're well. You're doing great. Your week has been beautiful too. If not, all will be well. Just take it one step at a time. Be assured that everything will be right if we continue to, be consistent, dedicated, hardworking, and of course, all wrapped in God's definite presence, because God's blessing will definitely come upon that. It's whatever we do that God will breathe upon and bless. So let's keep trying our best, because best days are definitely ahead of us. We start this morning with the Punch newspaper, moving on to the Guardian, and of course, this morning on the program, we have This Day newspaper. From the three dailies, we will serve you the front stories from the three of them to bring you up to speed of happenings in Nigeria. Let's start with the Punch newspaper this morning. Jonathan Obi holds closed-door meetings 2027. The story is on page 30 of the Punch. Moving on to page 14, INEC shortlist 14 new party. Applicant disqualifies 157. The story is right there on page 14. And moving on to page 21, which is the major story this morning on the Punch. Nupeng Dangote clash as tanker driver deal collapses. Dangote refinery says union membership not compulsory as Nupeng ponder fresh strike. Marketers urge adherence to MOU. NLC wants refinery against agreement breach. Moving on to page 22. 5.6 trillion naira debt. 5.6 trillion naira debt. Energy crisis loom as gas firms halt supply. It's on page 22. And on page 30, court summons Mark orders over ADC leadership tussle on page 30. And of course, on page 7, supporters await Fubara's London return ahead of resumption. And that's all we have on the front page of the Punch for today. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper. INEC rejects 157 applications. Clears ADA 13 orders for registration. The story is on page 4. On page 16, banks, FMCG customers top FCC PCs, 9,091 complaints, 10 billion naira recovery. It's on page 16. Moving on to page 4, implementation of 2025 budget begins in September, says federal government. You find it on page 4 of The Guardian. And on page 6, open defecation crisis worsens, threatens 2030 sanitation target. It's on page 6. Now let's move on to the infographics here. It says only 9% of households have access to basic sanitation services. Delta, Lagos, others struggle with enforcement awareness. 48 million still without toilets as cholera diarrhea kills over 100,000 children yearly. North Central leads in prevalence, followed by Southwest. And on page 6, ADC splits deepened as faction claims court barred Mark Aregbesola. It's on page 6. MRA fault attacks on journalist urges investigate intervention on page 28. On page 26, Lagos activates Ebola response system as DR Congo battles outbreak. And finally, on The Guardian, Court of Appeal orders Chief Register to confiscate crude on board FPSO Tamara Tokini on page 27. And finally, on this day newspaper this morning, NUPRC at 9,600 per barrel. Nigeria's crude oil loses slumps to 16-year low in July on page 5. INEC 157 association failed party registration. NLC Ezekame Natasha's lawyer condemns Senate over senator's prolonged suspension. Labour, this is descent into dictatorship. Constitutional lawyer continued suspension and political victimization unconstitutional. And finally, Natasha's lawyer replies NAS clerk threatening further legal action. And we have the photo story here of the former president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, and of course Peter Obi, right on the front page of this day. 2027 loading. Obi visits Jonathan. And that's all we can take this morning on the front page. We read from The Punch, The Guardian, and the This Day newspaper. Thank you for joining us this morning on the program. Do find us on our Facebook page. We're streaming live right now on Facebook, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. And of course, you can also watch us on YouTube, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay with us.
Currently, there is 1,000 CNG trucks on ground available in Nigeria that can take anywhere between 35 and 50 million liters of PMS on a daily basis. I wanted to say to you that from my understanding of events, Dangote was not against unionization of the truck drivers. You see, I always like to situate things within the law. What does the law say? The Trade Union Act, sections 43, subsections 1B, says that a federal trade union cannot compel workers to join its union. It has to be on a willing basis. The argument of Dangote, from what I understand, has been Nupeng cannot compel his truck drivers to join the union if they are not willing to join the union. Dangote, of course, respects, because the refinery employs currently 40,000 Nigerians who pay personal income tax to the Lagos state government, right? Even if it's in a free trade zone, all right? So his argument has never been that, oh, they can't join the union. His argument is that you have to obey sections 43, subsections 1B of the Trade Union Act, because he obeys the ILO conventions on rights of employees to freely assemble and congregate, sections 87, Convention 87 of the ILO Convention on Labor Rights around the world, sections 98 on collective bargaining. So the argument has never been that he stopped them from unionizing. It has been that you can't compel the workers to join your union if they are not willing to join your union.
Welcome back to the program. This is still Perspectives Unlimited this morning on 89.3 FM Wells Radio. It is your program, and so you have the right to share your own perspective according to or in a very diplomatic and civil manner. 0916-893-1000 is the phone number. 0915-333-4893, 0911-333-893. You can write down the phone number, and once it is 7 o'clock, you can start to pull or put your call through to the studio for us to take your own perspective on any of the stories we will be looking at this morning. This week started with the story of the DSS X and Omoyele Sowore talking about his statement on X, the former Twitter, and asking him to pull it down. But Omoyele Sowore, as always, standing and saying, no way, I will not pull that down. Analysts will talk about that in a moment. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's stories back in the news. Six months after, the suspension says 6 months, without, of course, the people of her constituency denied of representation for 6 months. Back and forth to get back into the house, but all of that did not pull through. 6 months done. Senate still saying no to Natasha to resume back to work. And of course, this week, Dangote Nupe gave us the biggest scare of our lives, as a lot of Nigerians thought, hey, we might maybe trek some, or, well, maybe not get PMS at all because of the Dangote and then Nupeng conversation and all of that. Some days back, we got the news of the proposed strike being called off. And now, in the news this morning, Nupeng Dangote clash again as tanker drivers' deal collapses. We will visit that extensively this morning to help our listeners make sense of it all. My name is Ayo Emmanuel Ujo. You're welcome to the program once again. And with me in the studio this morning is Uluye Lekosoni.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning to you.
Yes, how are you?
How are you? I'm very well, thank you.
Very well.
And how has the week been for you?
God has been faithful.
Were you scared with the Nupeng Dangote thing?
In all seriousness, I wasn't scared because I know too well that neither of the two parties would want something like that. So they only tested each other as well.
Oh,
And
I
at the end
see.
of the day, they both blinked at about the same time. I don't know if we can just dive into the story.
Let's start with the Showore
okay.
DSS matter.
Okay.
I saw the tweets by Omoyele Showore, especially a particular language, which I mean,
Which is foul.
it's very foul and not radio friendly. However, Showore is known to be, what a lot of young people call coconut head, and we're not back down. DSS writing X to pull down, Showore's page, and X now, reverting back to Showore and the matter. Let me get your view.
Thank you very
on
much.
all of that. Yeah.
In all seriousness, I think Showore went a little bit too far to call the president that name that he called him. I want to believe everybody knows the name he called him, but it's not appropriate for us to say that particular name on her. In all seriousness, I believe the president should be concerned by that language, but it did not attack the office of the president. He attacked the personality of the current president. And as such, it is not the role of the SSS to fight that battle.
Okay.
For if the SSS handlers today do not know, the act that established the SSS, I should tell you that I do not know any government agency called DSS. Because by law, it is the SSS. It was around 2014 that Marilyn Hogger woke up one morning and decided to rename the agency of government. It's actually the SSS, not the DSS. And pardon me to digress a little bit. Some media houses don't even refer to them as DSS, and one of them is Premium Times. And they are looking at it from my own angle as well, that by law, it is named the SSS and not the DSS. Now, let's go into the details. Their role is divided into two. Number one, national security. Ensure there is national security across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Number two, ensure that no physical harm, emphasis on that, sir, no physical harm comes near the president, the vice president, governors, and their family members. In all seriousness, how has Showore brought physical harm to the president? Had it been that he said, I will do this to you, then it concerns the SSS. Because at that particular point in time, you are working very close to treason. I should tell you that if you slap a sitting president, the penalty is death. It is that serious. But if it's word of mouth, it has nothing to do with the SSS. Rather, it should be the president that should approach a competent court in his own personal name that this guy defamed me. For me, okay, we can say part of what Showore said. He said the president said corruption is no longer existing in Nigeria. And Showore is saying no, that corruption still exists. For me, using the SSS to fight a personal battle is an act of corruption in itself. And that is the truth of the matter. The SSS has its role clearly defined. Ensure national security. And number two, make sure no physical harms comes near the president. No physical harm comes near the president. So, in all seriousness, how would the SSS prove this case in court? If they want to arrest him, they can arrest him. They know where he's. The guy is in Nigeria. He was in Ibadan over the weekend. But they know too well that should they get to court, they will find it extremely difficult to get a conviction. And that is why they are talking to X, and X is not even taking them very seriously. That is why Bayo Ononuga, according to Showore, contacted Showore to pull the tweet down, and Showore said he did not even bother to reply the message. There is no case. If there is any case at all, it can only be in the name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom Showore criticized and castigated, not the federal government. Had it been that it's something against the office of the president or the personal safety of the president, then the SSS has all the right to go out after Showore.
Isn't this also, like you said, defamation? The way the international community perceive or see the president, should that not also concern the appropriate security agency, whether it's called the DSS or the SSS or the Nigerian police? at least still standing in the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
Let me
is there any organization that can take that up?
No.
So Bola Ahmed Tinubu as an individual, and then
Can
Bola
I-
Ahmed Tinubu as the
president.
president. Is
As
there
the-
any organization by law that can take up such action?
As the
against someone
president
usually?
means someone acting against that office. And should that be the case, it is the role of the SSS to stand up, to spring into action. But now it is a personal attack against the person and personage of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you are my political opponent, I can wake up one morning and say, Mr. Ayo is this, Mr. Ayo is that. That has no business whatsoever with the SSS. It becomes the job of the SSS. Should I say, Mr. Ayo is doing this, tomorrow I will go and slap him. Then it becomes the duty of the SSS to bring me in and even to take me to court, because you are threatening a sitting president, which is, if convicted, a treasonable act. Sir, I should tell you that just 2 days ago, Donald Trump, the sitting president of the U.S., alongside the vice president, the Secretary of Defense, which is Minister of Defense, and the Secretary of State, which is Minister of Foreign Affairs, all 4 of them went to a restaurant just 2 days ago, and people were singing. In fact, what they called Trump is not something I can repeat here. To his face, guess what? He smiled and left. If it were to be a case of, oh, Mr. Trump, we are going to do this to you, the Secret Service is not going to wait for 1 second.
If that had happened in Nigeria, it should have been a different case. But do you think culture is also playing a toll on us here?
I wouldn't say culture.
I mean, culturally in Africa,
I would
you don't disrespect your elders.
I wouldn't say culture. I would rather say common sense. If you are the president, in all seriousness, you are doing a dirty job. People are going to say all sorts of things at you. People are going to throw all sorts of horrible words at you. It's left to you to ignore. Like we say in Yoruba, and Ebu, so you only say your opinion. It doesn't have any effect on me. That is it. But, pick up a pen and haul it at the president. Then the Secret Service takes it up. They takes over the whole show. It is like that. That is what I want. I want our people to focus. And for you to know that the SSS is... This is the part where I actually got angry the most at the SSS. Your primary role, even before protecting the president, is to ensure national security. The weekend, the SSS wrote X, Facebook, and all of those people. 110 people died in Nigeria owing to the incompetence and ineffectiveness of the SSS. 63 in, in Borno, 8 in Edo, Kwara, Kogi, Zamfara, everywhere. Killings across the country. The SSS did not take any decision, at least to the best of my knowledge. Somebody abused the president. You want to bring down the roof over that. They do not know what they are doing.
Let's talk about Natasha very quickly. The Kogi Central Senator, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has threatened to sue the clerk, if not allowed to resume legislative duties by Monday. The threat was conveyed in a letter dated the 10th of September and addressed to the clerk by her lawyer, Michael Numaisian. The lawyer demanded that the senator be allowed to resume her duties without obstruction, warning that failure to comply would result in legal action. Aren't you tired of this Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan story? And where do you see this taking us to? Because, I mean, it's for the last six months. We're here, we're here over and over, court. But I mean, the whole 6 months is over now.
It should have been you that I told that she messed up the moment she decided to appeal
the case. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If you are fortunate to have a very brilliant lawyer, the last thing your lawyer will advise you to do is to go to court. Because at that particular point in time, no matter how brilliant your case is, it's not a 50-50 thing. Like I told your colleague yesterday, I can see 6 and you can see 9 and you're still looking at the same thing. That's exactly what justice means. You may believe your case is the straightest to the is the straightest path to common sense, to judgment, but the judge may think otherwise. She tested her luck the first time. And in all seriousness, she got what some of us didn't even believe she could get. Lord Justice Binta Nyako, God bless her soul, she sided with common sense at that particular point in time. And before she could deliver a verdict, she already had this injunction barring all parties involved from talking about the matter, which is not totally strange when the matter is in court. That's one of the reasons I would advise my people not to go to court. She said, do not talk about this matter wherever you may be, especially in public sphere. Natasha violated that. She held interviews with local TV channels, and even with the Sky of UK, she flew to London to go and conduct an interview there. That's a clear violation of what the judge said. And the judge said that, okay, I have given you judgment, return to your seat, but for violating what I said, apologize to me. Not apologize to Akpabio, not apologize to the Senate, not apologize to the National Assembly. In all seriousness, we must all see the court as supreme. The court is beyond and above our interests. I believe that she was filled with ego and all of that, and she said, no, I'm not going to apologize to you, despite clearly violating what the judge said. She now said, okay, she is going to accept the part that says that she should return to the Senate without apologizing. Rather, she would appeal that. Man, are you kidding me?
Do you think that Natasha is also a reflection of the body language of the Senate towards obeying court orders? I mean, she's a senator.
She is a senator.
We've seen several cases
I understand. Yeah. Two different things, yeah. For the body of the Senate, or should I say the leadership of the Senate, is the case of what you want to carry us do. What do you want to do? Go to court. But for Natasha, I don't think she's doing this from the angle of big manism, as we call it in Nigeria. Rather, she's been, apologies to her, she's been childish. She feels like, oh, I'll go and tell my mommy. That is what she is doing right now. Oh, I'll go to court. I'll go to court. No, you shouldn't be in a hurry to go to court. Because if you're not very careful, now she has shot herself in the foot. The Senate is saying that we will not allow her back simply because there is a pending litigation over this matter, which is a very valid reason under the law. If something is in case, you leave it the way it is. You are contesting the fact that you were suspended. The case is still in court. It was taken to court by you the first time. Luckily for you, you got favorable judgment that most of us didn't even believe she could get. And you still appealed what was a clear victory for you. Are you kidding me? Like a caller said, Mr. Salami, I guess, he said, according to his own lawyer friend, who appeals a judgment that was favorable to them? Natasha Aboti Duagan. That's just the straight answer.
Oh, well, this is a big one. We've been at this for a while. Like I said, it's been 6 months of back and forth on this Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan story. And of course, we've been saying, I just imagine what the conclusion of all of this will be eventually.
If she's not very careful, the matter is going to drag to 2027. Yes, because no matter what happens. Do you think
that's what the Senate is up to?
Clearly.
To drag the matter a little longer.
Clearly.
Or in the regular time, to waste her time.
Of course, it's still the same thing. All they want to do is, okay, you want to fight, go to court now.
But what's the fate of our people, really? Because this is leadership. You're called to serve some people. These people have been without representation.
If I were to be her, I wouldn't have gone to court.
But now that she has gone to court.
No. Not that I will not challenge the suspension.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone to court in my own personal name. Rather, I would have sponsored my constituents to take the Senate to court. At that point, I will be free to do whatever I want to do. There will be no injunction on me. There will be no, don't grant any interview. There will be no, don't
but
do this.
Do you think that wouldn't go political? Do you think it would be as effective as it should be? Remember that during the suspension, some people had signed and all of these things against this same Natasha.
Of course, no matter what you do, your opponents are always going to play one or two games. They wanted to recall her, but INEC said no. You go to court personally, you send people to go to court, that is not going to stop politicians from doing what they want to do. So, I mean, that is not going to stop. We all can remember the guy who was behind the recall thing. It's someone I regard to refer to as an enfant terrible. It's a French word like Damadugo of Kogi State. We know who the person is. He wants to go to the Senate, and he was trying to, bring Natasha back so that he could go. It fell. It fell flat. But what I'm saying here is this: had it been that Natasha didn't go to court in her own name, she would be free to grant any interview, say whatever she wants to say. Now that is why she was, shot in the foot by herself. You want to talk? Yes, you want to go to court. I mean, there are two conflicting matters.
Two things.
I didn't mean she didn't go to court in her name, she would have been talking. And now, since the judgment is out, I mean, of course, she will still be the one to provide the lawyers for everything. And now that judgment is out that you can go back to the Senate, you go straight away. You don't even have to talk to anybody. There will be no case of, apologize to me because you granted an interview after telling you not to grant an interview. In all seriousness, you need to know that it's not every day that you fight. You have to be strategic about everything you do.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back right after the break, we take more stories, and of course, we talk about Nupeng and Dangote. Stay with us. It is 89.3 FM.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Hey, I dey miss my language oh. How you go miss your language when na im dey speak for Wazobia platform wey dey shele for World Radio 89.3 FM?
Haba, Wazobia platform na your program from West Radio 89.3 FM wey dey speak Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa plus including Pidgin, and na every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays you go hear am.
Na from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Advertise for Wazobia platform. Everybody go hear am for every corner for your state and beyond.
Wazobia platform na people's program.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
1,000 CNG trucks on ground available in Nigeria that can take anywhere between 35 and 50 million liters of PMS on a daily basis. I wanted to say to you that from my understanding of events, Dangote was not against unionization of the truck drivers. You see, I always like to situate things within the law. What does the law say? The Trade Union Act, sections 43, subsections 1B, says that a federal trade union cannot compel workers to join its union. It has to be on a willing basis. The argument of Dangote, from what I understand, has been Nupeng cannot compel his truck drivers to join the union if they are not willing to join the union. Dangote, of course, respects, because the refinery employs currently 40,000 Nigerians who pay personal income tax to the Lagos state government, right? Even if it's in a free trade zone, all right? So his argument has never been that, oh, they can't join the union. His argument is that you have to obey sections 43, subsections 1B of the Trade Union Act, because he obeys the ILO conventions on rights of employees to freely assemble and congregate, sections 87, Convention 87 of the ILO Convention on Labor Rights around the world, sections 98 on collective bargaining. So the argument has never been that he stopped them from unionizing. It has been that you can't compel the workers to join your union if they are not willing to join your union.
Welcome back to the program. Thank you for standing by. If you're just tuning in, this is 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's #1 family radio station, Wells Radio. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of your state. It is 5 minutes past 7 a.m. Welcome back to the program. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-3893. Nupeng Dangote clash as tanker drivers deal collapses. We started our week on this note. The fragile truce between the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and the $20 billion Dangote refinery has collapsed, igniting a fierce industrial dispute that threatens fuel supply stability and tests the federal government's ability to enforce labor agreement. The confrontation follows allegation by Nupeng that Dangote Group reneged on a memorandum of understanding signed earlier this week, under which the refinery agreed to allow tanker drivers and other workers to freely unionize. On Thursday, the Nupeng's national president, Williams Akporia, accused Saliu Aliu Dantata, a cousin of Aliko Dangote and key players in the refinery tracking operations, of defiling the resolution reached on the 9th of September at the Department of State Services headquarters in Abuja. The meeting, mediated by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Mohammed Tangiadi, affirmed the right of petroleum tankers under NUPEC to unionize. Representative of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Trade Union, DSS, and other agencies witnessed the signing of the MOU. But Akpore alleged that within 48 hours, Dangote ordered drivers to strip Nupeng stickers off their vehicles and forcefully enter the refinery in violation of union loading procedures. Now, you remember that earlier this week we got the story of Nupeng and Dangote to go, Nupeng to go on strike as a result of, union-related matters. Dangote, refinery would not allow, its drivers to be part. They're bringing in a good number of CNG, powered trucks to supply, PMS directly to retailers, leaving, the Nupeng association out of the picture. Another side of the account of the story says that some of the drivers had been made to sign, a document that they will not belong to any union. Contrary to the voice we listened to a while ago that says that Dangote had not done anything wrong in that regard, as you cannot, no federal organization as such can force, any private entity or so to join any association against their wish. Let me get your view to this story, as of course, who is going to suffer if all of this eventually break out? Nigerians. But let's get your view on this.
Thank you, Chief. Clearly, the guy who spoke, who's recorded speech you played not long ago is talking from the angle of the Dangote side of the debate. I don't know if he's a PR person for Dangote, but clearly, I mean, in my opinion, he's not very straightforward with the truth. Dangote started all of this. And before even going into this particular topic, let me make some things very, very clear. There are some sectors of the economy that you cannot, even if you're a private player there, you cannot decide what happens solely on your own. Number one, energy. These DC people, if left unchecked, they don't mind to bill us 2,000 naira per unit. But it's going to affect the country. That is why it is only the NERC that can approve a price reduction or increase. That is one. Number two, telecommunications. These people, the green, yellow, red, we all know them. They have been talking about increasing. They had been talking about increasing the rate for a very long time. It was not until the NCC gave them the green light to do that before they could do that. The third one here is petroleum products. You and I know that the price of fuel is going to affect a lot of things in the country. So by law, it is the government that will say, okay, this is the amount. It used to be PPPRA, petroleum price. Now it has been part of the NMDPRA. It is the NMDPRA that will say, okay, this is the range that you are going to sell your product. So, I mean, that is just for the people who have been saying, oh, Dangote is a private player. Oh, the government failed if they had their own refineries. Yes, the government failed, no doubt about that. But it is an essential commodity. And I should tell you that these are essential commodities as labeled by, the system, that you cannot just play with their rates, prices, cost, or whatever as you want to call it. Now, the question is, why exactly is Dangote afraid of Nupeng? I am not speaking from the side of Nupeng. I know that Nupeng is angry because Dangote may deny them of their dues. If you are a member of Nupeng, a certain percentage of your salary goes to
them. Let's take this first call. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Salami from Awota.
Oh, good morning.
God bless you too.
Morning, sir.
Well, Mr. Salami, please do call us back.
Mr. Salami, we are struggling to hear you. Please call back, sir.
Please call us back. The line is not clear. Please do call us back here.
Like I was saying, why exactly is Dangote afraid of Nupeng? Like I said, again, Nupeng is not doing this for you and I. It's because of the dues that will come to that body. We are talking about thousands of tanker drivers here, 4,000. I know there are some existing ones. Even if it is 200 naira they are paying at the end of every month, you know what that means.
It is something. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. Salami. Please go ahead now.
God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Sanni, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
May God bless you always. All right, my brother.
Amen. I too, sir.
See, for me, I think this morning, I'm sorry, I want to seek indulgence to be a bit nasty this morning.
Please don't be nasty.
Let's let it be safe.
Sorry, sir. Why am I being nasty is because of I need to advise our people in this country. You see, it's not all the cases that actually deserve our sleeplessness and our headache. Honestly speaking, Natasha's case is one of them. I'm forced to say this because I could see your passion. The radio man. Your passion in seeking justice for Natasha. Likewise, as case for most of our listeners outside there. Of course, it's a normal thing. However, I want to believe that, and it's a pity too, that Natasha herself walked herself majestically into the Senate trap. That is just that. So, the moment she appealed, a judgment directly in her favor, she lost it all. And probably she didn't just listen. She didn't just lose everything. She lost one of her identifiers, which is Salami here. But maybe she didn't read the argument, or maybe the time was not there. I don't know that. To know that what the judge was asking for is not, honestly speaking, it's not something that should actually arouse any anger from her to the extent that she to approach the court to do. That's that anyway. So I wish her good luck. But then for me, our case is, honestly speaking, it's not something that should give us a bit. That's number one. Number two, on the issue of Mr. President and Chowore, for me, I want to do that. Mr. President himself is not taking this matter as serious as people are taking it, because Mr. President himself wants to acknowledge that he knows the type of job he took and that people should not pity him. And then Mr. President, being an activist himself, is used to criticism and whatever. However, Chowore himself went a bit far. Much as I don't kind of support taking the opposition or dissenting voice, but at the same time, I wouldn't like anything that would denigrate the office of Mr. President or the person of Mr. President. However, I believe that there is a way, that is a distant manner the DSS could have gone through this in order not to subject the nation to further ridicule. We want to criticize the government, it should be done within the ambit of the law and common sense. However, I believe that DSS or whoever is the handler of Mr. President will actually, do something in order to mitigate any further embarrassment of the country out of this. So
All right.
God bless us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami from Water. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Miriam, right?
This is Miriam from Odega.
Good morning, Miriam. Speak to us.
So I believe that the inability of the federal government to revive at least one of our refineries is the major reason why an individual dominates the market like this. Because I believe that if there is other option, then people will not put all their egg in one basket as regards Dangote. So I want to implore the federal government to come to our aid and revive at least one or two of our refineries. They should make it functional and stop all these you spend on Warri refinery, on Port Harcourt refinery, and at the end of the day, we won't see anything. So they should just try and revive our own refinery that we can be proud of. Then by then, if there is, or someone like Dangote will not even have much to say. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miriam. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Yes, I'm from Malacca.
All right, Ruth, good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
All right, please go ahead.
Just the surrounding for
The line is not clear, Ruth. You would have to call us back. Ruth. Apologies. Please do call us back so we can hear you well. There's this story on The Guardian, on the Vanguard. Yes, it's still about. No, I just saw one about Dangote here. It says Dangote refinery begins free petrol delivery on Monday. Slashes price to 841 naira per liter. Let's take this and then you continue the no thanks story. Oh, we lost that call. Please do call us back here.
Dangote started the whole story when he said, "Oh, if you want to be my driver, you have to sign this caveat that you are not going to join any union."
Does he have the right to say that as a private organization?
It does not. And I repeat emphatically, does not have the right to do that.
Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, network. Use the alternative line 0916-893-1000 or 0911-333-3893. 0911-333-3893. Hello, good morning. Oh, the line is still not clear, Ruth. Hello, are you there? Oh, please use the alternative line, Ruth. 0916-893-1000. Please go ahead, sir.
What is signed, as far as I'm concerned, is akin to Nigeria saying that, okay, we're not going to buy fuel from Dangote anymore. Rather, we will be importing all of our fuel. Dangote is not going to keep quiet. Something like that happened not too long ago when the federal government said they were not going to sell crude to him.
Let's take this. Sorry about that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Yes, good morning, Ruth. We can hear you now.
Yes, sir. Ruth calling from Malacca.
Good morning to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. As regards the crisis surrounding this way of a thing, I would fault the federal government because I did think they have done the needful in allowing our refineries to work in its real sense. All this would be happening. Dangote Kunima Fiwa Shakobai. Or maybe they have even sell our refineries to private investors. He will know that he has so many competitors behind him. So all this is the fault of the federal government. They know what to do. So what we want is reduction in fuel. So life will be comfortable for we the masses. That's all we want. They should please do the needful. So we can't continue like this. School will resume on Monday. So what else? What do they want us to do? Because so many filling stations are still closed down. So they should please do the needful. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ruth. Thank you so much. We're still on the Nupeng
Dangote is saying that union membership is voluntary, not compulsory. You took that option of choice away the moment you told them to sign not to join any union. So you cannot now come back to say, oh, they are forcing people to join a union. Why did you force them not to join a union in the first instance?
Why do you think Dangote is walking that route?
He is walking that route simply because, in my opinion, he wants to manipulate the system. I am not in support of Dangote from A to Z here. Number one, there are three tiers in the oil industry. There is upstream, there is midstream, and there is downstream. Upstream is bringing crude out of the ground, refining, all of that. Midstream is transportation from the refinery to the depot or filling station, as it may be. And downstream is the filling stations you see here and there. You control the upstream. You still want to control the midstream. It is not making sense. The economy is bigger than Dangote. You are not the only one who has needs. Let other people participate in the process. If only for that, the federal government should have struck the idea out immediately. That's number one. Number two, have you thought of the impact 4,000 fresh trucks we will have on our roads? Have you thought of that? Currently, there is no part of the country that is saying we are not getting fuel. Fuel is everywhere. The problem is pricing.
Yeah.
So if the structure that is on the ground is enough to supply fuel across the country, then why bring in 4,000 fresh trucks?
Maybe to make life better.
No, it's not about that. It's
to
about
make better.
It is about disengaging those who are currently in the system. It is your refinery. You decide who you sell fuel to. That's exactly what he wants to do. He's going to deny the current guys the access to fuel, supply his own drivers, and take over the midstream entirely, which is not making sense.
And of course, he's the key player.
He's the only local refinery. So I mean, it's not making sense to me. And finally, I am a pro-union person because look at our factories in Oluyole. Serious riots have happened there simply because they said no union. Man by nature is selfish. If I know too well that the other guy is not going to say anything because there's nobody that can speak out for him, chances are that I try to see myself as a fair person, but something may take over me and say, let me cheat this guy. But if I know too well that he is going to scream and he has a loud voice, Nupeng is a very loud voice, of course I would think twice before I cheat him. That is why I'm saying that Mr. Dangote, stop this idea. And he warned us. Dangote is a very strategic guy.
Yeah.
He said it months ago. He didn't have to tell anybody, but he knew too well that what he wanted to do then was a very silly idea. But he tested our rate. He said he would be bringing in 4,000 trucks to directly supply. He was testing the reaction of the government, what the government would say. At that, I can remember that in this studio, I said, no, that's a very wrong idea. But obviously, people who are running Nigeria don't care about Nigeria. And when nobody said anything, the guy imported the first 1,000. I can tell you that the second batch of 2,000 is already on its way to Nigeria. The final batch of 1,000 is, almost completed in China. A lot of things are happening. Even if you must bring in the 4,000 trucks, why not ask the company to come and assemble in Nigeria so that you can generate something for Nigerians who are going to be part of that process? I mean, the guy, as far as I'm concerned, by birth, he is a Nigerian, but by patriotism, he's not a Nigerian. He's only faithful to his pocket. I see no reason why I should be fighting the cause of someone like that, when in reality it is against the common cause of all of us as Nigerians. What Dangote wants to do is that he wants to take over the midstream subsector of the oil industry, which is not something I am proud of.
Moving on, you can still call us on the show this morning, 0916-893-1000, 0911-333-893. Let's talk about INEC in the next 3 minutes before we go. INEC shortlist 14 new party applicant, disqualifies 157. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced that 14 political associations have scaled the first hurdle in their bid for registration as a political party, while 157 others failed to meet the requirement. The decision was taken at the Commission's regular meeting on Thursday, during which it also reviewed preparation for the upcoming off-cycle governorship elections and the end of the 10th area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory. So new political parties, have been registered. Associations cleared for the next phase: African Transformation Party, quite a number of them here. By the way, yes, 14 of them. I would want you to comment on that. And this story that made the round, I think sometimes on Tuesday or Wednesday, about INEC's concern about this early campaigns that we're seeing all over the place. For me, it goes against their name as an independent body, as I would expect them to step in rather than do some media,
instead of complain.
Yes, do some media PR rather than act on that.
For what's it called? For the new parties, I understand that there is a procedure for registering a party, and that there is a door towards that in the Constitution. But currently we have 19 political parties. Now you're talking about registering 14 more, making 33. That's too much for me. What do we want to do with 33? Look, 33, what's it called? Political parties. No. It's not. But like I said, there is a process for doing that. And if it's in the Constitution, who exactly am I to say no? But personally, it's not what I think Nigeria needs at this particular point in time. We have 19 already. If you cannot secure
19 that are not doing so well.
If you cannot secure the candidacy of one party out of 19, what is the chance that you are going to get that with 33? That's that. For INEC, in all seriousness, they are not doing what I would expect them to do as regards early campaigns. The law doesn't favor them right now, because the law says that you should not do early campaign, but there is no penalty for anybody who does early campaign. So what I would have expected INEC to do would have been to write the National Assembly, Senate, and House of Reps to, amend the existing Electoral Act pending the 2026-2027 Electoral Act. I don't know if you're aware, when an election is coming, there is always a new Electoral Act, but you can amend the existing one of 2022 so that it is going to empower INEC to sanction any party or politician that does early campaign, instead of saying, oh, we don't like it, is this, is that. Oh, well, they said it yesterday that there is a gap in the law, that, yes, the law, I wouldn't say criminalizes it, because if it's about criminalizing it, there's going to be a penalty. But the law is not in favor of early campaigns, but it's not enough to say don't do it. You should have a punitive measure for anybody who does it. So that is what INEC should be talking about. Let's amend the 2022 Electoral Act so that we can be empowered by law to sanction anybody who erects a billboard. And sir, before stories are
not just billboards, even some posters are.
Yes, stories are everywhere that for instance, if we are contesting for the same time, I want to put you in trouble. I'll go and erect a very giant billboard and say, okay, done by Mr. Hayo, when in reality it was done by me.
By you, yeah.
There is a very straightforward way to do that. Number one, license all bodies that can do billboards in Nigeria. And if you are erecting a billboard, especially a political billboard, make sure your company name, logo, phone number, address, everything is there. So that if there is a question, we know exactly.
I mean, that's what it should be. You'll still find some, outdoor advertising agencies put their, their signage, their phone number, but not all of them.
Not all of them.
Yes, not all of them, for reasons best known to them. That's all we can take on the program this morning. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Sonny.
It is always
today. That's all we can
to
take.
Nigerians.
Oh well, Nigeria will be well.
By
Just
the
like
grace
Mr.
of God.
Salami said, sometimes if you look at some of the stories, you wonder, should we wake up to this really? But it is our job, and we must do that. And that's why I love to say, don't take it to heart. Never let it, shape your day. Rather, take it as a piece of information. Today being Friday for Muslims, you might just take that as a prayer point to mosque and then to church on Sunday. Pray for Nigeria, because it will definitely be well with us. My name is Ayo. I'll see you on Monday, God's willing. Join Chukwemeka and, of course, the gentlemen on the round table tomorrow morning. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information.